That's right. We got a lot to work for. But this is not a Debbie Downer show. We're going to have a good time. I want to show you some comedy tonight, comedy in glass. My name's Redbeard, by the way. I do a YouTube show called The Redbeard Show. Check it out sometime. It's just a fun glass-blowing show. I smoke a lot of grass. I show off my plants. I show off my glass, and we just kind of go through it. But here's a little teaser to show you a bit of... It's going. It's happening. It's alive. Oh, shit. Well, hey, hey, ho, ho, it's the Redbeard Show. Hey, hey, ho, ho. 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 Hey, hey, ho. Hey, hey, ho, 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 ho. Welcome to the Redbeard Show. It's another day in paradise. Another day in paradise. In my basement. That's my line. Hey, hey, ho, ho. And welcome to the Redbeard Show. That's about it for the video. Now we're going to start a little slideshow. And the slideshow is just going to show you a bunch of my work. Basically, I made spoon pipes for like 17 years, making bongs and pipes. Fairly unimaginative, you know, what the people wanted, the cheapest pipe possible. And that was a lot of fun. A little bit soul-crushing, though, you know, as an artist to go to work and you're just pumping out the same design for 20, 30 at a time. So about 3 years ago, I decided to throw all that aside and just pursue what I want to make and when I wake up in the morning. And so I kind of discovered that I like to make funny stuff. I kind of imbue my sense of humor into my work. So not all of my work does that, and not all of my jokes are funny. But I think they are, and I guess that's what matters, right? When you're an artist. So, okay, so I just hit forward. Okay, I'm totally illiterate on the computer, so we're going to try this out. So this is my logo my lovely partner made. And, oh yeah, so, hey, it's not working, but what do we do? Click on that, maybe? Yeah, not working. Oh, I spoke too soon. Okay, we're good to go. This is the art show I did. Very first Bongs show in Canada in a public art gallery. It was a lot of fun, called #Glasslands. And kind of showed off to the local community what we can do in Bongs. Here's a good joke. The bear and a rabbit are shitting in the woods, and the bear says to the rabbit, "Excuse me, do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" And the rabbit says, "No." So the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit, and the rabbit on the backside. I didn't show that because it's gross. I do a lot of O Canadiana themes, so there's a little beaver chewing on his pipe, and one's the mouthpiece, one's one where you put the herb, and one is the mouthpiece. So I also do some line work, bong glass, so you can drink and smoke at the same time. I like to do some sesame work, big bird flipping the bird. This was a fun piece, biker chick. So this kind of shows you mid-assembly with all the bracing that I have to do to keep it all from sagging as it goes in and out of the kiln. So yeah, the biker chicks, they're riding a motorcycle. Pretty stoked face on me every morning when you pull a piece out of the kiln and it's still the way you put it in. It's pretty awesome. So close up, go duck yourself. You'll see that again later. Fried chicken, good, kind of play on that commercial, your brain on drugs. This chicken is both on drugs. He's drinking beer too. Here's another view, different bird, same idea. There's a whole flock of fluckers. This guy's sitting and thinking, deep thoughts. Oh yeah, I think he's taking no, he's just laying. Here's another, cookies, cookies. Cookie. Oh, I like these guys, the cows. So I did a whole series called The Funny Farm, Redbeard's Funny Farm. So we got some more coming, but on the left we've got cow lick, cow pie, and cow patty. There's your cow lick, cow lick, cow lick. Oh, a couple lickers. There's cow patty. I don't step in it, but she's enjoying it. Cow patty, cow pie. Oh yeah. That one has the removable fork there, as you can see, that's the dabber. This is all to hold a quartz banger would go in the cup of milk. So yeah, they're all lactose tolerant, those ones. So I do some cups as well. It's always nice to have some libation cups. Those are always fun to make. This one was called the Day Tripper, custom for a good friend of mine, the green-haired freak. He's freaky. And sometimes they glow in the black light like that, which is fun. Here's the piece I have on display here. I call this one Dear Lord. And I actually changed the design. I made the cross removable. So you can take the cross out. That was a fun piece. Praise be. Go duck yourself. That's a fun design. I've done that a few times. This one was fun. Dino stole the family car. This is actually a few different rigs, 3 different rigs. You can see 3 different attachments. One mouthpiece is on the Dino's face. One mouthpiece is on the car. Oh, and the other mouthpiece is on the other side of the car. So he's drinking and driving. Dino. Oh, I got my ducks in a row for this show. Yeah, go duck yourself. There it isn't halfway through. You need a lot of bracing to keep the arms where you want them to be. This was the first legal bong I ever made. After 20 years in the business, the government legalized it, and I got on board. I'm a registered vendor of cannabis accessories in Canada now. Yeah. They've only ordered one. And I sent so many people in there, collectors wanted to buy it, and the government store couldn't figure out how to sell it. So, yeah, they're not very good dealers. There it is in display in the store in Kamloops, BC. Oh, this was a fun one. I made this one was when Trump was running for president. This is called Floyd, the Flamboyant Flamingo. He actually is on crutches because he got injured at a Trump rally. It's a little too flamboyant for the crowd. So I do like to do a little political satire and fun. This guy was just a little hot dog, you know, Frank is his name, Frank on Frank. Oh, the angry chicken, he's fried chicken again. I like doing the barnyard scenes. This is the goat dancer. Go duck yourself again, that's a popular one. Oh, there's my bus. I got several buses, I collect buses. Some people collect coins. I like buses. You heard the previous talker talk about the Grateful Dead lot. I was there. I learned a lot. In this case, Pokey is spelled with 2 E's. Gumby and Pokey. There's Gumby smoking his bong. He glows under black light as well. Lots of fun. Oh, this one is pure hogwash, I'll tell you. Pure hogwash. This is John Ladeer. He likes to drink beer and drive tractor. This is his brother, John. John is a deer hunter. He's in his safety gear. Oh, there's his tractor. John likes to drive tractor. He's a little drunk, though. He shouldn't be driving. In fact, if you see this John, he went missing at a show I did. He got stolen. He may have just walked away. So if you guys ever see this particular John, he's out in the world. I think he's still drunk. It's all good. Oh, here's his other brother, John. This guy's a logger. John does logging for a business. As you can see, he's drinking and smoking. It's the end of the day. Logs on his shoulder. There's saws on the shoulder. Here's a Kool-Aid man. I brought one of those with me. And I guess you guys don't drink Kool-Aid in Australia, but you're not missing out. It's pretty gross. It's just a sugar drink. But he comes bursting through the wall and, hey ho, oh yeah. Anyway, it's a fun commercial. Americans buy these. It's wonderful. I'm an artist, but I love money. It pays the rent and stuff, you know? Well, it's okay. Don't worry. It'll be okay. Yeah, here's a coin we did at the last Great Canadian Glass Gathering. Oh, that's one of the hats I wear. I host the Great Canadian Glass Gathering. It's a party in Canada where hundreds of glass blowers come together with hundreds of their friends, and we have Grateful Dead music, and we dance into the night. And this is a coin unit made by Marcel Braun. And the Starship in every garage, and we brought the Starship to the glass gathering. So the idea is this coin is real money. Marcel's created a currency out of glass, and I accept this currency now at my glass gathering, and it's kind of neat. It's a neat idea, bucking the culture. Oh, there's my other bus. I didn't put these in any order. I thought it'd be funner to have surprises as we go. This is a fun bus. It's a 1960 Mercury. I cut a car in half, put it on top, and I put a race car engine underneath the hood, so it's got like 500 horsepower. And it gets about 4 miles to the gallon, but about 1 million miles per gallon, so it's really cool. Yeah, it's really loud. Sounds like NASCAR. So I do some micro bongs in case, in Australia, you got to hide your bong, so this one fits in your pocket. There's a whole few of them here. So you can get quite detailed as you get small. Oh, Moose says, go fuck you too. Hey, hi, Moose. So this is... I do a lot of moose. This guy's also the logo for my Cannabis Cup. I host a Cannabis Cup in Canada as well. And there's the trophy for the last year's first place Cannabis Cup award. The moose has his own trophy. Again, libation cups. Always good to have a drink while you're smoking, and now you don't have to share. You can. Oh, My Pet Monster. Do you remember that cartoon? Was that in Australia? Well, My Drunk Monster, my version. Oscar the Grouch. He's a grouch. Sesame Street. Oh, the banana peeler. He's showing his stuff. Yeah, a whole bunch of peelers, pardon the pun. Oh, there's some saucy sows. Oh, this sow is called Pork Chop. He's got the Karate Kid there. So I'm just blasting through this slideshow. I hope I have some time left. How many? Oh, I think I'll be early. I'm going too fast. Who's time in this show? This was just a purple hippo. Guy wanted a purple hippo, so that's what I did. Making a bong. Friend of mine, Remo, asked for a bong, so I made Remo in a bong. That's Remo. He's always pointing his finger. Friend of mine. Here's a fun piece. My friend wanted this specific design. He wanted a seagull shitting on people driving a car while they were driving down the road. So the seagull's flying over the car, the folks are being shat upon. That was a lot of fun. Whoa. Oh yeah, the steering wheel is you pull the steering wheel out and then you put the bong accessory in there. Usually a quartz banger for most of my pieces. In Canada, we do dabs a lot, which is the extracts. So most of these fancy pieces are destined for the extract market. Generally, those people have a lot more money, and these pieces generally cost a lot more money. So it's kind of that, it just goes in that direction. But you could smoke flour out of this. None of these pieces are really easy to clean. So I did a bunch of sharks. You guys know sharks, right? Loan shark. Yeah, loan shark. Oh, there's card sharks. Aye, they're having a good time. This guy's got a full house, I believe. So I like to do wood grain sometime. That's kind of fun, just trying to make different designs and different pieces. Pool sharks, right? Pool sharks. The pool cue is removable, has a dabber again, so you can hit extracts. And then you can see the other shark has, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. He's drinking a beer, and you would put the accessory in the beer, the quartz banger. So there's all the sharks together. I don't know what you call a group of sharks. I'm in Canada. We don't have sharks. We got flocks and moose. Okay, hey, there's a sheep knitting its own coat. Yeah, why not, eh? Toucan Sam. You can, Sam. He was fun. I called him Token Sam, actually. That was a fun one. Oh, that's a trumpeter swan. Yeah. Oh, this was a fun piece. I'll explain this story because I got a minute here. I'm going too fast. So the Vice camera crew, Vice TV, do you guys hear of those guys at all? Vice News and such. They came to the glass gathering and did some filming. And a while back, the Vice published a quick article from these real snobby guys that did this short clip and said, oh, glass blowers have no imagination. All they do is small format dragons and large format dragons. And so every glassblower on the planet got insulted by that. So as a comeback piece, that company was called Tokyo Smoke from Toronto. And they were just making 3D printed bongs, and they were just pumping up their product, but they put us down in the meantime. So on the floor there, so I'm jumping ahead. I made, as a response, a medium format dragon, right? Really inventive. But the medium format dragon was crouched over, taking a big dump. And the big turd was the Tokyo Smoke logo. So that was my kind of narrative on that. So then the Vice crew was at my house, and at this kitchen table you can see here, and they were filming and taking a look at all the art that I carefully put out on the kitchen table, just like this, I'm on Vice News. It was awesome. And the camera guy's going in close, and he totally knocked the Vice dragon off the table. Psh, broke the Vice dragon, and it was just shock for a minute. Everyone was shocked, and they felt really bad, so they wanted to purchase or pay me back in some regard. So as a response, I built this piece. So this is the Vice cameraman, and he has just knocked the dragon off of the kitchen table, which I replicated, and I made all the pieces that were on the kitchen table in miniature. And then on the floor there is the broken pieces of the dragon. And so I published that, kind of tagged the Vice crew in the Instagram video or whatever, and now this piece lives in the Vice head office in Montreal, Canada. It's pretty cool. Fun story, full circle. So thanks, Vice, for exposing all our art. So yeah, forward. Oh yeah, this guy's a little, he's a pecker, right? But he's also a puckered pecker. That's the mouthpiece. Get to work, eh? Hey, I should explain the get to work, eh? I say that a lot. Get to work. First of all, good work is good for you. Get to work. We all got to work to make a living. But when I say it, I'm emphasizing the get, because I get to work. I got the best job in the world. I'm living the dream. I blow glass all day, make up fun stuff like Woody with the Woody and the woodpecker. Woody and the Woody. So yeah, get to work. I'm saying it's an honor and a privilege to do what I do. Are we done? Oh, end of slideshow. Click to exit. Okay, I'm out of here.
Do you have any photos of the bongs after they've been used? Because this is all
photos of bongs after they're used.
Yeah, this is all very pristine. What does that, puckered sort of mouthpiece look like after all? Yeah.
Dirty, dirty, dirty. Get your lips on that. Yeah, some pipes change color when you smoke. That's the silver and fume in the background, like David was mentioning. Most of these rigs don't change color when they smoke. They just get kind of dirty, black, or what have you. But I have to admit, a lot of these pieces like this aren't even smoked out of. This often will just stay on a shelf. I highly doubt these guys smoked out of that piece. Most of these just stay on the shelf and get admired. We got questions with a microphone.
If we got questions,
let's do questions.
We'll get the microphone to you.
I'll just slowly go through the slideshow.
What would Woody Woodpecker cost?
Woody Woodpecker sold for, most of these pieces are around the $1,000 mark. Yeah.
Is that all?
That's all. It's affordable. You should get your own. Any other questions?
Yeah, any questions?
We can just go through the slideshow again.
Yeah, we
in
have
the back,
one here.
there's one. There we are.
Which one's your favorite one?
Oh, good question. I have no idea. I can't even remember some of them. Basically, all the ones I brought here to show you. The Funny Farm is my most recent work, so I had a lot of fun with that. I went to an art show and I assembled them all together in like a farm setting. I put like little fencing out and little animals with them. The Fisher-Price barn, I had that there. It was awesome. And yeah, that was a good one. I kind of really liked that Dino driving stole the family car. That was really hard to make. That was really hard. That one took me several days, just puzzling out the smoke. There was 3 pipes in that one unit, right? So it was a really interweb of smoking. It was cool, yeah. But it's really hard to say. Usually my latest piece is my favorite piece, or the one that just sold.
And like the fabulous buses that you showed us, is that sort of set up for glass blowing activities as well?
Yeah, the green bus I showed is a mobile art studio, gallery, supply shop. And the red bus is more of my camper. It's got a wood stove and a soaker tub, and it's pretty luxury in there. Yeah.
All right. I know you're from Canada, so
Sure.
I kind of know the answer. But are you worried about Sesame Street getting a hold of you for like rights?
Nah, fuck them. Bring it on. That'd be great publicity. Yeah, if they want to sue me, they can try. It's all good. I'd stop making them. They'd get a cease and desist order. Yeah, maybe. But I believe you can change the design to an artist's creation, right? Pretty sure that they weren't flipping the bird on Sesame Street. So, no, I'm not too worried. But it's a valid question, right? Some guys blowing glass have gotten shit with copyright infringement. Starbucks shut down some folks there. Yeah, it happens. But no, I'm not too worried. My bigger worry is not being creative enough. Like, here, I'm just stealing their character, right? Like, I didn't create Big Bird, so that's more of my concern. Like, so I want to be creative in my own work. I don't just want to make someone else's work. I generally don't do a lot of that. But when I do recreate a character, I always try to make them do something funny or something that I would do. As you can see, a lot of these are drinking beer and smoking pot. It's kind of what I'm familiar with.
Video's queued.
Awesome.
You ready?
Awesome. Yeah, we could play this. This is part of the Vice interview. This kind of gives you a bit of my
I have
attitude.
flowers in my beard, but none in my lungs nor my brain. I need some cannabis.
Like, I worked hard for that, you know? So, I don't know. Judge me if you want, but I'd say go fuck yourself. All right.
It's crooked as fuck.
It's all right. At least it wasn't a dragon.
At least it wasn't a dragon. So, yeah, I don't have much more for a slideshow. Do we have a lot more time? I can think of other things to do and say, but...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I reckon you've got another at least 10 to 15 minutes.
Sweet.
Yeah, so...
Cool. Well, I'll tell you about, like, we started with the Grateful Dead lot. So I went to the Grateful Dead for a whole shitload of shows in the mid-'90s, and I saw guys blowing glass out of their, like, trunk of their car. nitrous too, but the glass was also really cool. And then I saw these guys with the fancy buses, right? And I thought, man, these guys are the coolest in the planet. So that's kind of what I've unconsciously aspired to be my whole life. I realized recently, oh, I'm a glass blower, grass grower who drives old buses and listens to the Grateful Dead all day. That's really cool. So, and yeah, I also do a lot of grass growing. I grow my own cannabis. I have for 20 years. I grow outdoor in the mountains of British Columbia, as well as indoor for my personal medicine. And we're going to be talking about that more tomorrow when I'm on a little panel discussion. Today's more about the glass world. And I guess I could tell you a little bit about the Great Canadian Glass Gathering again. It's a really fun party that I host every year. It's in the mountains of British Columbia. It started like 12 years ago, actually. 12 years in a row we've been doing it. And just kind of, I found myself on this wicked property, and there's a stage on the property and a campground and a little amphitheater. You know, fuck it, let's have a party, get all the guys out of the city. All the city folk got to experience the country air, right? So got them up into the mountains, and we would just build our benches out of like, you know, an old refrigerator. We'd throw it sideways and throw a torch on that, and off we go, right? So 12 years later now, we've gained many sponsors, and we got like glass displays for every artist, and I hire bands to play, and we got 2 Grateful Dead bands playing this year, and a couple DJs, and it's a lot of fun. And now I'm on a different property, which I hope to buy, and we're gonna just keep rocking it up there in the mountains of British Columbia. So. Yeah, not up here. Yeah, weird, eh? I didn't think of that. No, yeah, so there's a lot online, though. It's called Great Canadian Glass Gathering. The website's gcgg.ca. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a kid-friendly event, too. We got a little play zone for the kids and the dogs and all that, and it's a lot of fun. And Canada, the scene's so much different than here. It's so neat to see the glass head shops here. The pipes and stuff that you can buy here are very much what we saw 30 years ago is pretty much where we are here. It's such a visit to the 90s, and it's really, such a throwback to see the designs of pipes that we were making literally 20 years ago as what is on the shelves here. Whereas the stores where we are, the market's taken off, right? Each store has like $100,000 in product, every type of glass you could ever imagine, and totally different. But it's not to put it down here whatsoever, but just to show you what you can look forward to. You know, if you keep fighting for that legalization and normalization, and yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately, drug paraphernalia like the beautiful bong is mainly banned in most states, and you can't usually display it either. So yeah, there's a lot of terrible repression on, you know, people's artistic sensibilities.
Yeah, ours is as well was illegal right up until October 17th. Believe it or not.
Okay, so you weren't supposed to be.
It was, but it just wasn't enforced.
Okay.
So you know, if you find that your paraphernalia laws aren't being enforced here, start making more bongs, right? I get to work. But yeah, like in Vancouver, BC, they weren't enforcing the growing laws or the smoking laws. So we overgrew the government, literally. Everyone just grew more and smoked more, and that's how legalization and normalization happened in Canada. It's kind of a slow rolling ball. Yeah. Yeah,
it's definitely important to have that kind of like get everyone working really together. And I think Chibo, who was here before talking to people, it was all about helping support people that are in trouble as well. Yeah. So yeah, very important. What other questions do we have?
Any more questions for the glass guy?
I was going to say it's our last chance, but not really. You're here for a few more days, aren't you?
Here for a few more days.
There are some questions.
Track me down.
Were you one?
All right. Do you remember at the Great Canadian Glass Gathering, the guy that got encaged in the glass?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the story?
Yeah, sure. I wish I could show you a video of that. One of our glass blowers fell asleep at the glass gathering, just kind of nodded off in his chair. So we caged him completely in glass. We built a cage that we lowered around him and then welded it all shut. So he woke up stuck in the cage. It was really good, buddy.
There was all little sculptures through it.
Oh, right. So, yeah, a lot of the glass blowers, it was a big collab, so people were handing in things that were part of the sculpture. So he had, like, a glass penis was, like, floating right in front of his face, and funny things like that. It was pretty epic. Yeah.
There was another question here.
I know it would vary, but like on average, how long would it take you to create something like, say, that size?
Right, great question. I get asked that a lot. Now, remember, I've been doing it for 20 years, and one of the things I do is I'm really fast at what I do. Once I figure it out, I just get it done. But generally about a day. I try to get it done in a day. There's usually something the next day I got a little tweak, a little straighten. Sometimes I forget to polish a little mark or something like that. Sometimes the piece cracks, and sometimes you can fix that, and you can do that the next day. But generally a day. Now, like the bird shitting on the car, I think that one took me a couple days. The Flintstones one took me a few days. The most complicated piece is probably about a 7-day one. And so a lot of that's prep work. You make a whole bunch of tiny components, and I always sketch it out on paper first, and then after I sketch it, I make a list of all the components, like a small black ball times 4. Medium black ball times 8, white and blue, small ball times 4, you know what I mean? So I just kind of list it so I know what it means, and then I'll just make all that prep work. So before I can make a piece, I need to make the color. For instance, the Dear Lord here. So for Dear Lord, I had to first make a white piece of tubing. So then I made that, and I pulled off 2 pieces that I could use for the arms, and then I shaped that, and then I had to make the brown tubing for the deer's head. And there's actually a different color underneath the chin. But so you have to make all that beforehand. You prep it, it's waiting in the kiln, and then you start assembly. So you kind of make little components, and then you add it all up together, kind of like the arms and legs, and then you put the base on. Yeah, so generally a day. This one took about a day. After 20 years practice.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Hold it.
Yeah. Do you want to run through the slideshow real quick? I can just do that while I stand here chatting. I don't know how to do that, though.
Okay, we'll come
I'm
back and
afraid
help
to
you
hit
do
buttons.
that. Yep.
Yeah. Tech man to the rescue. Sorry, I blew through that slideshow so fast. I had 130 images. I figured I had to give her. Any other questions anyone thinking about?
Oh, yeah, we have another question here.
Ward?
Thank you, Mr. Redbeard. I'm curious, who are these people who have $1,000 to spend on fanciful bongs that they never smoke through? That's
great question. Yeah, growers. Yeah. Sometimes, kids with rich parents. What do you call that? The trust fund kids. Yes, exactly. And that's people with money. Yeah, a lot of people will, and it's just like $1,000 pair of shoes or pants. People are very proud of that, right? They wear the brand name with pride. So now, people strive to obtain a Redbeard piece to show off to their buddies that they got the latest Redbeard, That's what I'm trying to do anyway. I want to be the next Polo. Not really, just joking. But yeah, so it's a lot of show off, right? Yeah, I got the latest $1,000 piece, and some people have collections worth $100,000 or more. It's amazing. Yeah. Oh yeah. You saw several pieces. If any of you were here for the previous presentation by David, there, he was showing at the end there some pieces worth easily 6 figures. The large piece with the spaceship, space station. That was, oh man, a couple $100,000, I think. There was a pirate ship on there that I think sold for $100,000. It's quite amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of them that are drinking and smoking. I don't know where that comes from. Yeah. Drinking and smoking. Libations. Yeah. Any other questions that we can talk about while I scroll through? Anyone in particular?
So at the Great Green Gathering, you also do some collaborative work, right? You work on things together.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Great Canadian Glass Gathering is full of collaboration. Like I said, there's 100 glass blowers, about 40 torches set up. So guys will just pass work back and forth across the table, down the table. Guys are planning pieces the whole time. Oh, I love that bus. You guys got to see it. I planned on doing a cross-country trip on these buses, and that was going to be filming a movie, the Redbeard movie. Didn't happen yet.
It will.
Just need funding. Just need funding.
Get to work.
Yeah, get to work, eh? Yeah, the black light phenomenon's fun. A lot of people like these black lights. That's uranium dissolved in the glass. How about that? Get real close and give it a kiss. But it doesn't hurt you. It's all in the glass. You don't want to snort the dust.
I was going to say, definitely the glass pieces that David has done at the back there, the clear ones there, got uranium in them. They were glowing in the dark the other night.
Yeah, they glow in the dark. They're radioactive. Oh, there's one there. It's kind of fun. Any other questions? Anyone want to buy any glass?
I wanted to ask, have you hurt yourself doing it a lot?
Oh, yeah, I hurt myself. Not super regularly. I'm fairly clumsy by nature. I drop a lot of glass, my own work. But yeah, cuts and burns are the most common. Cuts is the most common. In glass, you never want to be forcing the glass. Like, sometimes you'll get a little excited and you'll pull a little too hard, and then the glass will snap in your hand and you got a big cut. But the worst of it all is if you enter the flame of the torch. The torch is oxidized. It's really hot. And if you accidentally put your hand into that, it's brutal. It takes you weeks to heal, maybe. Yeah. I couldn't hear the question. If there was one. I might be hearing voices. Hogwash.
What's it cost to go into glass blowing?
Oh, good question. Yeah, the glass itself is expensive. Clear glass costs, I'll quote in Canadian prices, maybe $5 a pound. Colored glass costs anywhere from $50 to $100 per pound or more. So the color glass is very expensive. And the gas is itself also expensive, propane and oxygen. I used to buy all of my oxygen. Now I have a machine that makes it. And I'll just leave that one up there for a second. There's the other bus. Yeah, it's pretty expensive to do it for sure. I don't feel I feel bad for all the guys starting right now into the industry now. I got in 20 years ago where not a lot of competition, not a lot of materials either, but like I was one of the only glass blowers. Now it's a very tight market. It's not easy to make a living off glass. It's not easy making a living off it as an artist either. You can make art all day, but then you got to go sell your art also. So it's a bit of a challenge, but it's living the dream. I thought hopefully I've inspired you to chase your dreams as well. I just moved out west to find the greener grass, quite literally, and learned how to blow glass while I did it. And I'm living the dream. I blow glass and I grow grass, and I love it.
Wow, thank you so much. I think we're going to wrap it up.
Praise be, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. Woo.
Oh, thank you very much.
I have flowers in my beard, but none in my lungs nor my brain. I need some cannabis.
Like, I worked hard for that, So, I don't know. Judge me if you want, but I'd say go fuck yourself. All right. It's crooked as fuck. It's all right. At least it wasn't a dragon.